And look who's still with us. Hey, James, how you doing? Thank you for being here. I got a couple of shows I should talk about real quick, I think.
Sure, man. Let it rip.
Dave mentioned earlier in the Brainiacs monologue, the Heavy Metal Hall of Fame opening up in downtown Arlington, Texas. Have you heard about this?
Yeah, I heard a little bit about it, but I don't know many details about it.
Well, I'm going to go to their group page on Facebook and share that screen so that we can see it there. All right, there's the event page. So it's a grand opening, Heavy Metal Hall of Fame, downtown Arlington, featuring Rotting Corpse. The address is 120A East Abram Street. So that puts it right on the corner of Mesquite.
So kind of east of UTA campus over there.
No, yeah, that's correct. Yeah, like one block east. You got it. It's Center Street. That's the best way to think of it. Is think of it as Center Street.
Yeah.
But there for a minute, Center Street breaks up into two lanes or two different air. It's like a I-35 east and west.
Yeah.
Where it comes apart, comes back together. There's a split. You nailed it. Okay, so that street's called Mesquite.
Cool.
So it's right there at Abrams on the corner of Mesquite and Abrams.
I have a dumb question, Rick.
You're all right, yeah.
So Heavy Metal Hall of Fame, is it actually is that just the name of a venue that's new, or is it actually like a museum type thing?
James, thank you for being here. I might not have known to say it that way if you wouldn't ask me that. It is a museum. Yeah, it's a museum first. That's what it is. It's a museum. And so you have to schedule. They have a website, or will have. I don't know how it works from there. It's not me. It doesn't have anything to do with me. It's my brother's who it is, if you don't know.
I got you.
My brother does Elmo Jones Productions.
Okay.
And has booked bands forever.
Cool.
And so he's had this name trademarked for a long time, and it's been his vision. And he had it set up. Some of our listeners might know he had it set up at the old Fantasy Ranch building in Arlington for a minute. And then here, Renee knows. And then he had it set up a little bit, like you could see the old Rascal signs at the Maverick in downtown Arlington.
Uh-huh.
And Rascals is pretty legendary for heavy metal in Arlington. And, love him or hate him, he's a pretty kick-ass. I mean, he's part of Arlington and Dallas-Fort Worth heavy metal legacy. And so just his private collection alone's enough to start a museum, trust me. Awesome. So I don't know what his plan is, but to put himself out there, right, as a museum. It's a museum, everyone listening. That's what it is, to answer your question, James. But there are going to be live shows there. If you notice here, there's only one band, Rotting Corpse. So it's being presented, it looks like to me, this is my interpretation, as like a special event.
Right.
Yeah, what you're really doing is you're going there to see the museum, and while you're there, Rotting Corpse is gonna generously melt our faces.
Killer, man.
So if all goes well, but he's, the idea of anyone doing a museum would be to have a nonprofit status. So I guess he's applying for that, and you have to have a physical address for that or something. And then from there, you can get grants. Theoretically, you don't know if you can, but there are grants like the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, for example. That's how he put it to me.
Yeah.
Was that the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame gets $3 million a year or something in just a straight federal grant. And shit, that's enough to run any fucking museum.
Oh yeah.
Even if you can get a small chunk of it, you could run a kick-ass heavy metal museum if you lived and breathed and shit heavy metal.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And had a little motivation. So hopefully all of that's coming together and will actually happen. I don't care who it is. There's a lot of different types of people in the world, and I want the best for everyone always. And I want the best for, Silly Goose, for example, a new promotion company in town that's kicking ass. I want the best for them. I want the best for Torch. I want the best for Third String in the tea room in downtown Deep Ellum. I want the best for Awaiting Abigail hitting the scene hard.
Yeah, man.
And I want the best for this heavy metal Hall of Fame. I hope that it kicks ass because I am confident that he'll honor Dimebag Daryl Abbott,
Hell yeah.
Pantera, Black Sabbath, Motorhead, Judas Priest, all the real heavy metal bands that we all honor as heavy metal bands. And, I think he has an idea. He's been booking bands his whole life. So I think he has an idea of how to bring bands through and make something like that happen, especially if it was on a nonprofit status that had any kind of federal granting that could help pay for any of that shit.
For sure.
So there's the answer, bro. I mean, that was the answer plus. How about that?
No, that's perfect. That explains it well. It will be good for him to have the 501c3. I have a little bit of experience with that, not anything music related.
Oh yeah, no, that's his plan.
Yeah.
He almost has his BA. Is that what it's called? Business Associate's degree.
Oh yeah.
And so he's going back to school now to finish that up, and that's the plan, is to be 501c3 or nonprofit status, and like I said, file for the federal grants. That's his plan.
Also, like once he has that status, he can get. I mean, even like local donations, won't be taxable.
So well,
like 20, 30, 40, 50 bucks, it adds up. People will do it too,
Well, James, I got a beer. You want a good, really fun, cool story real quick?
Yeah. Let it rip, man.
Dude, it's my brother, right? He's a crazy motherfucker. His name is Jerry Warden. But he's a cool motherfucker. He loves heavy metal music, and everybody knows it. You can say anything, but all the bands know he's booked all the fucking bands, because he's been booking shows for years. And so he, a few years ago, figured out that the state of Texas was offering grants for 2 cities, basically, let's just say it that way, geographically anyway, for organization that would support local music unbiasedly. So meaning all local music is part of the state of Texas's description of the program.
Yeah.
So the idea is to support all local music, meaning heavy metal music also.
Yeah.
And so he had it, he knew it was available and all of that. He shared it with another guy. That other guy shared it with a city council person. That city council person went through with it. And the people that, because a nonprofit status has to hold the grant status, the Levitt Pavilion ended up with this once in a lifetime support local music nonprofit status. I wished I knew what it was called, and I apologize, but this is really legit shit, dude, what I'm telling you.
Yeah.
And he kind of fucked up pretty royally. If he could have got shit, but it cost money, and we're all goddamn broke. I don't know about you. You look like a professional. But we're all broke, and we just love music and sharing music. Anyway, so the Levitt Pavilion ended up with this grant money, that's annually, and they you can see it through them in the format of what's called Arlington Live. Is it called Arlington Live? I don't know, but my point is that they're not supporting the local music scene with the grant money. Right?
Cool.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think they are. If I'm wrong, somebody come on and correct me. But I don't see that they are. And so that's just kind of weird how it all happens, kind of let things slip from your grip, because he knew about it and he had told me about it, and I saw it all kind of go down. And not only that, I talked to the lady from the Levitt Pavilion, the actual, what's her position? Yeah, I forget, but she's the lady that runs Levitt Pavilion. You can go meet her. You can go talk to her. They have, as part of the conditions of the grants and the, holding it, keeping the grant status, they have to hold meetings that are public. So you can go talk to her and say, hey, heavy metal, bitch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Need to get a bunch of people to go do that. Heavy metal.
Here,
bitch.
here. Say it again.
That's right.
Can I hear you say it a little louder?
Yeah. Take a bus full of people over there and raise some hell.
Yeah, man. Yeah, because heavy metal music is as important to me as some of my favorite R&B music. I love some Tone Loc. I love a lot of different styles of music, right? But heavy metal is just as or more important to me than any of those. So anyway, it just should be recognized, especially if it's a state grant and the grant actually specifies all forms of music. It's not limited. So yeah, I like the busload idea. I hadn't thought of that yet.
Yeah, go put on a little concert outside our office. Make some racket.
Pull up in a U-Haul truck with a power source.
Yeah.
Drop the door.
A couple generators, man.
Yeah. I've seen a couple of people do that. I think that's a pretty genius idea in, today's market where you can't really get signed.
Yeah.
Right. It's all DIY.
Yeah.
Unless you become the next Nickelback, if you're touted as the next thing and you end up on all the TV shows the next day and, you're everywhere all of a sudden, and you break, well, then maybe, but then you cross those roads, you're at the crossroads at that point.
Well, and also, how long
is that your soul, James?
What's that?
Is that your soul?
Is that my soul?
I said, then you're at the crossroads, is what I said.
Oh, yeah.
When you get to the next status of being on all the television shows and, cram down everybody's throat.
Yeah.
And if you have something, you can break. And if you don't, you won't. Nobody hear from you again.
Right.
But if you do break, that is at least at that point where you have the crossroads, where you have the crossroads moment.
Yeah.
You're standing on the edge.
Yeah. You got to sell your soul to the devil.
Something, you're going to keep your mouth shut, boy, and do what we tell you.
Yeah.
Take these drugs. Shut up. I mean, that's what I've heard all the rock stars say. It, went that way till they finally learned their lesson and maybe hired an attorney or something, right?
Oh yeah. They all make tons of mistakes and lose money and everything. It's like you said, seems to be, I wouldn't know, but seems to be that it's easy to go take the wrong way at the fork in the road.
Right. Okay, so this James is the only other show that I really need to talk about, and since you're here, I'll ask you just for fun. And Silly Goose might have a February 8th show. I don't know when her February show is with Perico, but either way, this is my date, and I'm not changing it. And I have the badass Last of the Sane on there, and I have Here for Now on there. And then this other band is called Heart Check.
Nice. I've been looking at Here for Now. I like their stuff, man.
Yeah, you want to hear some?
Yeah, let's do it.
And then what about Last of the Sane? Do you like all forms of music when they're done right?
Oh yeah, of course.
Okay. So let me introduce you to Last of the Sane. Then we'll get to Here for Now. You want to do that?
Yeah, that sounds good, man.
You're badass, bro. I knew you were already. All right. I'll be getting another beer in a sec, but basically this Last of the Sane is hardcore. It's like post-hardcore, but they do it right, man. It's really done right. So live, it's going to be sick, right?
Yeah.
So it's called Glass Case. Doesn't that feel good?
Oh yeah. Hell yeah, man.
They did it right, didn't they?
Yeah, dude. That's got some Phil vibes to it on the harsh vocals.
Yeah.
Got some Phil vibes, and then the clean parts almost like some Faith No More, Mike Patton type.
The way he drops off in that harmony, yeah.
Yeah,
Or that melody, I guess, not the harmony.
that's
Yeah.
good, dude. That sound good.
Yeah. It's almost eerie, but he's just relaxed, you know.
Yeah.
So, yeah, they did great on that. Yeah, you know, I'm sure they can perform that live, you know, but I always think that way. As long as they can perform that live, that's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
All right, man. Here for now. You ready?
Yeah.
I got to find it real quick. Let's see.
Are they Denton based? Is that what I read?
I think so. They might be. They could be out there anywhere in that north metroplex suburb area. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And
I honestly don't know. It's funny because I know them pretty well, and they may have told me in the past, and I just can't remember. But I just know they're from up that way.
Cool.
But they're really good people, and like I enjoy their music. I don't know. I could be biased, and I just can't. You know, I'm blind to my own biasness. I don't know, but I really thoroughly enjoy listening to their songs.
Yeah.
And I enjoy watching them live, even though they're not as heavy as Awaiting Abigail, right? They're not as heavy as, I mean, but they have their own things. She's a good songwriter. Like every other band, she's been challenged with a full-time guitar player, and that's one of the worst things to be challenged with, right?
Yeah.
I mean, if I write songs on my guitar.
Yeah.
So anyway, I think they'll figure it out. This song is called Forward.
I'm not
dig that.
I knew you would.
I dig that, and I think it's cool too that on that show that there's that variety. Um, Although I don't, you know, we would go really good with them. I'd love to play a show with them eventually. But I think it's cool to have that variety too. Like when people get like stuck into this thing where they feel like the whole show has to be one specific neat niche genre that's just like, no man, people like it's better to kind of, within reason, I think, mix crowds and people get turned on to something. That's the kind of stuff that
I feel like we have a little more of that ability because we showcase so much different talent that can get away with mixing it up a little better.
Yeah.
Whereas most people are just, it happens naturally that all the hardcore bands or all the punk bands play together because they run around in each other's circles and things,
Yeah.
So thank you for pointing out the variety, but I still feel like they fit. That's a great thing. And it's hard to find that variety sometimes, bro. And it still be good music. And because they play that live just like that, And I've got live videos on this channel that you can go see them if you want to.
Yeah, man, I'll check them out. I've already been checking them out a little bit just because looking forward, thinking about, who to play with and who to become friends with, network with and stuff. And they caught my ear for sure.
Yeah, obviously y'all would go great together. Her name is Shade and she plays bass guitar and sings.
Yeah, I saw that.
Somewhere.
I don't.
And she does a fantastic job of it. It's a pretty awesome to watch.
Is she
or experience, as Jimi Hendrix would say?
Is she kind of the
driving force?
Yeah, point of contact.
Yes.
Cool.
Kind of like Ariel is with Against All Odds.
Yeah.
There's always a driving force in every band. There has to be.
Yeah.
You're lucky if you get two driving forces.
Right. For sure.
On the same page.
On the same page. That's good.
That's why it's such an honor to do this, James, because I know how challenging it is, man.
Yeah.
We're like keeping marriages together here.
Oh, yeah. That's hard enough for two people, right?
Well, that's the date, February 8th. I'll slide into your, I'll send you an email and tell you what the circumstances are. And if somehow y'all are available, we'd love to have Awaiting Abigail on this show. But anyone else listening also hit me up. Go ahead.
Yeah, we'll talk about it offline for sure.
I'm in Jim. Scheduling is a motherfucker, and I get that.
I can't wait to go back to Diamond Jim's, man. We used to play that place back in the 90s, Texas Billiards.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, I hate to do this to you while you're here, but one of my biggest supporters in the entire universe is Renee over at Hedonistic Punk Vatos. So if you just can't get out to the Sexy Lady show this Saturday, if you're in Arlington, a great place to be is at Growl Records, Division Brewery there. Growl Records and Division Brewery, pizza and hamburgers next door. Have you been down to this place?
No, I haven't been there.
It's kind of funny. I hate to say that Awaiting Abigail is bigger than this. I do. I hate saying that, but